Good morning on this Tuesday. Thanks so much for joining us here on Morning Pulse at KTTC's Digital Desk, where we bring you top local headlines in a quick format so that you can get your news that you need to know for the day in a local format and then move on with your work or school day as we are rounding out yet another school year. So we appreciate you being here. I have several stories to get to today, some that impact people in Minnesota and in Iowa, as well as the Rochester and Southeast Minnesota region. So we are going to start with kind of an update or a continuing coverage story that we have been following for some time now, a trial, kind of a case in Olmsted County Court. So we have learned that the jury trial for an alleged child torture case in Olmsted County, it is actually getting underway today. That's according to the Minnesota Judicial Branch. Prosecutors allege that Andriana Newbern, who you see on your screen here, allegedly cut a child with a pizza cutter while working at a Rochester daycare center last year. So according to the criminal complaint that we received, the woman from Pipestone cut the 14-month-old child so badly that child had to undergo surgery for face, leg, and arm injuries. You may remember, again, we have been talking about this story for a while. It happened during an argument between Newbern and the child's mother. The last thing we reported was that the jury trial was actually delayed last month at the defense attorney's request, and now, again, it is starting today. Newbern is facing a jury on 7 different charges, including multiple assault charges, child torture, as well as terroristic threats. So this is a case, a trial that we will be following here in Olmsted County, and we'll bring you any updates as soon as we have some new details. All right, our next story has to do with people that work for the state of Minnesota. A change of pace for those state employees here in the Gopher State. They are now required to be in the office at least half of their work days. So that new policy, we've learned, actually just went into effect on Sunday, June 1st, the start of the month. And it comes after Governor Tim Walz had announced the policy change back in March. You may remember we had talked about that in March. So the goal of the new policy change is to create a balance of working remotely with the workplace advantages of being physically in the office. That is according to the governor. However, there are some exemptions for any of those state workers who live 75 miles or more away from their office. So that's kind of, there are some exemptions with that. If you fall into that category. And then just for perspective here, there are about 40,000 government employees that are currently working for the state of Minnesota. So if you yourself are a state worker, or if someone you know is a state worker, they have had this kind of change of pace go into effect for their workflow on weekdays here. So that is the update we have from Minnesota, kind of the legislature, or the St. Paul kind of government. Let's go to Iowa now, where we're talking about Governor Kim Reynolds signing 2 new bills into law that are going to be changing some aspects of next year's elections. So one of those laws allows the Secretary of State's office to kind of coordinate with state and federal agencies as well as private entities to kind of check voters' records. So if the state is unable to verify a voter's status, it moves their registration to unconfirmed and then notifies that person that they do need to provide some documentation to prove their citizenship. So that is one of the bills that was signed into law, kind of a change there. The second bill that Governor Kim Reynolds signed into law changes how recounts for elections work. So this is going to establish a minimum threshold of votes that are needed to request a recount during an election. It also changes the makeup of recount boards and shortens the window of time available to request one. So just some things to note heading into next year, where there will be some elections. But again, this was for the state of Iowa. The governor kind of signing 2 bills that will be changing some aspects of how the election process will work in 2026. All right, our final story of the day is kind of something fun. If you're maybe looking for something different and fun to do to spend your Tuesday evenings this summer, well, you can maybe check out Music in Manorville. It's kind of a new summer concert series that is free, and it actually starts today. So you, your family, your friends, your coworkers, whoever you'd like to bring can come on down to Manorville and enjoy some live music as well as some yoga sessions, which is fun, a farmer's market and food vendors. It's all happening at the Riverside Park Bandshell area. Again, this is in Nanerville, so each week we'll be featuring kind of a diverse lineup of local musicians ranging in all different genres, so truly something for everyone, which is nice. You are encouraged to maybe bring a blanket or a lawn chair if you want to comfortably be able to take in those performances, depending on how long you're going to be there too. So again, this starts today. It runs every Tuesday through August 25th. So kind of a fun little summer new concert series. So that's something to maybe mark on your calendar if that is something you're interested in doing. All right, well, those are the four top news local stories that we have for you on this Tuesday. The other main thing that we've been talking about for this Tuesday is the weather. If you have looked outside, it is probably raining where you're at. I know we could see it and hear it in our newsroom and throughout the entire morning during our newscast. So it is definitely going to be the wettest day of the week. Meteorologist Ted Schmidt has been talking about that and just how, yeah, it's going to be a wet one today. However, tomorrow looks like it's going to be a great day, kind of filled with sun, and then we do have some patches of maybe here or there stray rain chances throughout the rest of the week. Ted, of course, our meteorologist, who is a professional at telling us what the weather is going to be like, he has a breakdown of his full forecast on our website, KUTTC.com, if you would like to check that out, just to kind of plan your day or your week ahead. But yes, do not forget the rain boots, the raincoat, whatever it is that you want to have to keep yourself shielded from the rain today, that will be in handy for you. Okay, well, that's all I have for our Tuesday. I hope to see you right back here on Wednesday morning. For now, I'm signing off. See you later.